It's 7:39 now. Continuing our series all this week on people who changed our lives. Back in June of 1972, a young man, Bob Woodward, was an inexperienced but industrious reporter on the city staff of the Washington Post. Carl Bernstein had a bit more experience in newspapers, not that much more. Then came the Watergate break-in. Woodward and Bernstein, the two fledglings, were assigned, and their story, their investigation, pointed the finger directly at the White House. Woodward and Bernstein eventually earned a Pulitzer Prize for their Washington Post reporting, while President Nixon resigned in disgrace. They went on to fame. Two best-selling books about the Nixon White House and its fall, a very successful movie starring Robert Redford as Bob Woodward, Dustin Hoffman as Carl Bernstein. Today, Bob Woodward remains with the Post as an assistant managing editor. Carl Bernstein is here with us at ABC as a news correspondent, and they are together again in Washington. Good morning. If I remember correctly, I did the first interview with you two after your book was written. Is that your recollection?
It is. We were very scared.
You were very scared. You had nothing to be afraid of, and there were so many people at that time who were very scared about you. So let's get to that period. I wonder how you two feel about the resurrection of Richard Nixon. His advice is consulted all the time for foreign policy. He resigns in disgrace, and we are seeing him rise again, perhaps. What's your feeling about that, Bob?
I really think that the conviction of tragedy only increases with time, that Nixon was sort of a dark mirror, the Nixon administration and the personality of Nixon, a dark mirror held up to American society where we could see so much about ourselves, the lofty ideals, the rhetoric, the inadequate, pathetic performance of what he came through with. I mean, really kind of a walking show of American life. I think when historians in a couple of centuries study that period of the Nixon administration, he really destroys literature almost, because he's the most fascinating figure of the time.
If we just get to today, and maybe Carl answer, do you feel that it's all right now? That we, if not forget, at least forgive and give the man a chance?
Well, I think forgiveness is always a good thing for everybody. I think that too many people, however, have forgotten exactly what happened during the Nixon administration, which is something incomparable in our history. It's not just about a bugging and a break-in, but a very basic attitude about the use and misuse of power. That's not to say that Mr. Nixon wasn't perhaps quite knowledgeable or skilled in certain areas of foreign policy or whatever, and that in those areas he might look better in retrospect. But he did something very basic, and I think it's important to remember that.
Gentlemen, you know now that there's a good deal of antagonism towards the press. And the thing that sometimes is pointed at the two of you, they say that because of your investigation, because of what happened in Watergate, too many reporters today feel that everything has to be an investigation, and they have an adversary position with the government. How do you feel about what seems to be that perception?
I think it's been around for a long time. I think it predates us. I don't think the situation has changed too much. You can go back to Vietnam when that perception was around. Bob, a few minutes ago, was talking about a speech that Eisenhower made at the Republican Convention in 1964 during the Goldwater nomination when he attacked the press. It's always easy to attack the messenger. We're very convenient targets. I don't think we do our work much differently than we ever have, and I think the attitude toward us is really not that changed. Look at Spiro Agnew before Watergate and his attacks on the press. I don't think it started with us, and I don't think it's going to finish with Ronald Reagan either.
Bob, do you think that the press has gone too far? You're in Washington. You see particularly the White House press corps?
No, I don't think so. I think that the real danger, the real problem is becoming part of the established sort of social and political order here in Washington or anywhere else, and in worrying about our place in that order rather than our job of reporting, which is essentially being outsiders, sometimes throwing the hand grenades and the bombs and preserving our independence fiercely, and we're not going to be loved. And if we ever think we are, we're deluding ourselves, and we're not going to be doing our job.
I'd like to ask you now a question I have a feeling I asked you almost 10 years ago, and that is, will we ever find out who Deep Throat is? And is it one person?
It is one person, and when he's willing to have his name disclosed, we'd be happy to disclose it. But we all...
Yeah. There have been rumors. Have any of there have been many rumors about who it is. Have any of those rumors hit it? and I'll go through them.
Everyone but you has been named, so I guess we can say that it's been hit.
It is a man.
Yes.
Do you think we'll know soon?
Certainly won't be up to us to disclose. I think that we've always left the question of sources and whether they want to disclose their identities up to themselves.
But it exists. He exists, and he is one person.
Absolutely.
Do you think the two of you might get together again? You've each gone your own way. Will there be another Woodward and Bernstein book? Is it something that you...
We're very close, and I think there's always a possibility that we'll do some work together.
Carl is actually a mole inside ABC, and we're going to do a book on television.
So I better watch myself.
No.
It's very good to have you with us. Indeed, it did change our lives, and it's a rather funny feeling and a nice feeling to see the two of you together again. I thank you for coming into our Washington studio today.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this.